Alright, what's going on everybody, and welcome to another afternoon with Strange Religion. This is a V Rising advanced series on speedrunning the game, starting with Quincy the Bandit King. I'm trying to do an under 30 minutes Quincy run. So we're going to be attempting to Horse Lord Ferocious Bear and Quincy the Bandit King in order to secure that under 30-minute victory. We're mostly doing this, also for fun and also to set a speedrunning record and get the community competitive. But for the upcoming May 28th, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, Stunlock Studios sponsored Merciless Solos tournament. It's going to be 42 players. Please join the Discord. All the details are below. We do have cash prizes. And then additionally, we've just released a new tournament format, which is going to be a Merciless Duos tournament for June the 4th, which is going to be a Summer Cash Cup. So I hope you all are ready and preparing for the speedruns and for the crazy plays and counter plays. So we're going to go ahead and dive into this. So this is attempt 12. I've not been able to do it under 30 minutes. I did have a 35 minutes, but not what we're looking for. And just a huge amount of these runs is going to be RNG. It's going to depend on the blood types, things that are happening in the game world, bosses randomly fighting other bosses, the stats on the horses that you go to get. I've been opening chests personally as a new form of speedrunning strategy in order to skip the time I have to wait for the sawmill to produce planks. And so it also depends how many planks we get out of chests and how many chests there are. And so there's just so many fun and interesting RNG elements. I would be excited to see other players speedrun as well. And we'll be starting that timer as soon as we come out of the coffin. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in to attempt 12 at the world's first under 30-minute Quincy run. And so if this worked in a tournament environment, you would be going straight into tier 2 and putting a base down, or tier 3, in order to skip the madness and PvP that is going to be part of that tournament format as the players run around the map, going on the west or east side of Farbane to kill Clive or Ferocious Bear and then hit Quincy. Other players are going to be just farming copper and trying to get into a copper weapon as soon as possible in order to gank other players and raid bases. So you've got horse lords, speedrunners, PvPers, and you just have every aspect of the competitive community here. So I'm really excited for Saturday, and I hope to see a lot of you out there. I have become an expert at fighting skeletons, so this is probably going to be a no-hit tutorial run, he says, the second he gets hit. That's alright, we'll just get back to full health here in a second. Here's where the first bit of the RNG takes place, because sometimes you have a lot of wolves here and sometimes you don't have any. Sometimes they have very high blood percentages, sometimes they have low, and so we just need to kill 1 or 2 of them in order to get... There's a 28%, we're going to take that. That's a really high average for my past 12 runs. I did have a 96% wolf at one point, which is just wild. That's going to give you that massive speed boost right off the get-go. We're just going to kill 1 more. That way we have the hide that we need to make the full sets. So here we have a poacher coming up. We also want to get 30 blood roses, right? That way we can get our blood rose ring going as soon as possible. This poacher would actually be a good RNG mob spawn if it was closer to Alpha Wolf's lair. And we just might be able to after he beats this wolf, right? That was a 34% wolf, not bad. We might be able to pull Alpha Wolf down here, and then the poacher will help us kill it. It's not going to save a ton of time, but it could save just a little bit. Also, the amount of RNG on Alpha Wolf is wild. Sometimes he's actually not even in this den. He's just out patrolling or in another den. So I have no-hit Alpha Wolf, but it's not useful to no-hit Alpha Wolf. You waste a lot of time trying to dodge when you can just get all the way through the fight by just fighting him as is. And I always try to pull Alpha Wolf right here because he's going to explode when you suck his V-Blood, like all V-Blood bosses, and it's going to do area of effect damage to resources and monsters. So we're going to want to pull him right here where I am. And now we're going to hit him hard. And we're going to start crafting one salve if we can. We need a little bit more blood, which probably drops from him. So that was actually a very, very fast Alpha Wolf. We're also getting all the lumber that we're going to need to build our base later. So we're just saving, you know, immense amounts of time here. And now we're on the way, and we're going to run into a bunch of interesting RNG elements here coming up. I'm going to eat the salve, and since we have to leave the form to eat it, we'll go ahead and hit some boxes. Picking up 2 planks there, so you can see where the RNG gets really, really wild. Right? I think a lot of other players might just go for horse here, but we're actually going to hit bandit logging camp. Try to get lucky with some chest drops, and see if we can't finish out the rest of those planks. So I don't really see any chests on that side. Only one right here, so no planks in there either. So this is actually a very bad bandit camp RNG run for us. Sometimes there's 3 or 4 chests here that all have some really good items. This time there's 0 and actually no planks. No chest there either. Sometimes I've seen a gold chest up on that hill. So here we have what looks like a nice little combat. We've got wolves against poachers, against trappers, and here comes a bunch of bandits as well. It's probably going to be way too much for us. So we're just going to try to take some of this loot and leave so that way we don't die and waste the run. As you can see, that was still extremely dangerous. What do we have here? We've got a man trap versus Lidia, but Lidia definitely devastated that man trap, so we're not going to worry about it too much. It would be interesting to fight her there, right? Because that would really enable you to do some nice things in PvP. You would be ready if that happened, right? If we didn't beat Quincy in 30 minutes, you would definitely want to have Chaos Volley and be prepared for some PvP. But we don't actually need it because we're not trying to get onto the ground. We don't want to have a ground game. We want to just horse lord everything. This also looks like an interesting fight. I'm not sure if this is like poachers against bandits. Sometimes we get really good RNG here. Here's 2 chests, so this is actually pretty good. That's very bad. That actually might kill us, if I'm being honest. Oof. Silver resistance brew, that's interesting. Alright, so we need a rat. We need a rat, else for a one-shot. We're going to take a quick break. This is going to cost us some time just to blood heal, but at this point we've kind of outused the movement speed bonus from creature type, and so we're actually looking for a high warrior, rogue, or brute blood type. That way we can do more damage to Ferocious Bear and Quincy. Fierce Stinger. I'm very curious to see if any of these boxes have a chance to drop the fish that you need in order to become the rat form, because that would be extremely useful early game for PvP. You could just go rat at Quincy. Some of the higher creature types are also really good for the bosses because they give you health regeneration and damage resistance. So one time I got a 90% cow over here. That was lovely. But not this time. So a lot of basics that I'm not going to take the time to try to fight. Please, good RNG, 9.4. So this isn't bad. We got 9.4 max movement speed, which is fine, and 12.8 rotation speed, which is also fine. So we're going to go ahead and try to run this here, and there we got the horse at one of our fastest times. And now we're moving to the base building phase of the speedrun. We've got our matcha tea, we're popping off. It's always tea time up in this house. Lots of 2%. We also had some really bad RNG one time. I've placed the base down here 12 times, and one of those times a Treant was on top of the place where I always built my house, so, you know, that RNG just is good. It's all over the place. Oh man, the Treant once again. So we'll come over here to this side instead. 38%, actually, that's probably going to be a really good pickup for the boss fight. Alright, so we're crafting a mace. We're trying to grab a little bit of blood rose because we don't have enough for our blood rose ring just yet, so we need one more blood rose here. Also, your RNG from drops from the random things you pick up on the ground and the monsters you kill can vastly change your run. I once picked up a enhanced bone spear right here at the that poacher I just killed basically dropped it, and so that saves you 4 planks and the time it takes to make the planks. So there's just a really large amount of RNG all across the run, and I'm sure that would persist for the the lifespan of your run if it goes well beyond Quincy. Again, we didn't really find almost any chests this run, but sometimes I've gotten, 6 to 11 chests by now, and I've got a lot of planks, a lot of lumber, a lot of stone stacks out of those, and so we wouldn't have to spend as much time gathering before we can place the workshop down. If you were very, very efficient and you were sure you wouldn't die, you would probably get rid of this coffin as well. But I'm not going to do that personally. We barely have any wood. Because I think you could actually salvage the run even if you die, as long as you get the workshop down quick enough, and then you could respawn here. So I would actually suggest in a PvP tournament environment that you consider putting up the rest of your walls here, and that would also stop other players from using your workbench, which would save them a lot of time. Plus they could be stealing your planks with the PvP protection timer, and there's not really anything you could do about it. Alright, so we want to get some more wood in there to keep the process going. and then we just want to make sure we have what we need. So we just need planks at this point, and then probably plant fibers for our bone ring, and some more blood roses. So we actually need to stop grinding here and look for one more blood rose. The wolves are trying their best. Sometimes there's so much blood rose here, and this time there's none. So we've actually, oh, okay, there's one. I was gonna say we've actually injured this run by only having, you know, 3 less eye level than we need. There's probably a way we could also pull Treant to Stone Golem, but I don't think that would help us at this point, but in another run it could. Alright, so we need 2 more planks plus 4 to make our enhanced bone spear. Also, we have no salves, so we're going to be in trouble if something happens within the bear fight. We have no actual heals. And then we would theoretically, which we're actually going to do, but you would theoretically break this base down as well, and then prepare for the Quincy fight, and you know, maybe put up another base over there on the off chance you get killed. There's just so much, you know, so much at risk. So, when you're speedrunning, you wouldn't be doing this. You know, an actual speedrun, so you can tell where you would be saving time compared to mine. But we're gonna keep the coffin and the heart just in case we die to Ferocious Bear. But since we're getting ready for the solo Merciless tournament, we would have to break our base down and then move it, because in the solo tournament you only have 1 castle heart. So rather than have to come back here later, we would already want to be ready to leave Quincy. But there's so many weird factors involved, right? Everyone's going to have the same strategies, and so if you get a lot of players at these bosses, especially Ferocious Bear, it's going to be scaled and multiplied. Players aren't going to want to help each other. They're going to be stealing each other's horses. They're going to be hoping they die so they could get each other's loot. So there's just so many like little interesting things. I actually forgot. What's going on here? Why is my item level so low? 2, 4, 6, 8, 14. I forgot to make my enhanced bone spear. We just lost at least a minute there. Wait, did we already break everything down? Oh man, our workbench is gone. We just really devastated this run. Oh my god. Oh my god, I screwed myself so bad. Alright. Okay, so we'll get that back in there. And then what do we need for our enhanced? So we need 3 planks, that's it. It's just going to take a small amount of time to get those planks, which I think we probably had going. So you can tell that I'm on my 12th run, right? Sometimes your runs get better and better. I also forgot to split, so it kind of makes sense that I'm splitting now because we lost a lot of time. And the more eye level you have, the less damage the boss is going to do to you, and the more you're going to do to it. And it's already a very challenging fight that basically has a 0 forgiveness whatsoever. And here we're going to mostly be doing circles, and then also trying to get a slight bit of distance when he slams on the ground when the stones drop from the ceiling, which again, that's going to be very deadly in a competitive environment with a lot of players there. I think tons of people are going to be getting hit. I also think you can block each other in with your horses. Alright, now we're back. I don't think we can make the 30 minutes this time. But if we can actually even just beat Quincy, I'll probably post this because I want to jump onto the tournament and do some fun stuff instead of just literally speedrunning this all day today. It's been quite a challenge. And some of the runs ended so soon. I just got killed up in T2 trying to get a horse, or I made like a weird RNG play and it didn't work out. Alright, round 2. Also no salve and already injured, so we are asking for trouble right now. Alright, so we're going to start trying to go further away on these because I was doing very tight circles and it wasn't helping me a lot of the time. A lot of times he gets me there right after his first swipe, or right here, right here we have to do a very tight circle because he runs straight at you. So that RNG on that circle right there almost always gets me off my horse. So the fact that it didn't this time actually gives me a lot of hope for kind of salvaging this run. That is like the most dangerous period. I rarely ever get him below 50 before I'm knocked off my horse. So here we go again. This is just going to be another period of danger. Hopefully by the time he gets to us after this ground stomp, his enrage period will be over, which it is. You can also see if you got caught out at the wrong moment during that charge, and stones were falling, you could easily get smoked by that charge. This is looking good though. I feel very, very good about this run right now at this moment. Imagine if he knocks us off here. Woo! Alright, that is massive. Also, right, in a tournament environment, you go to suck the V-Blood, and another player goes to suck it as well. They just watch you fight the whole time, or, you know, however many people are here, and then someone just decides to steal your horse real fast. You definitely just lost a lot of time trying to get back to Quincy. Alright, so here we are going to pick up our base now. Alright, we have a pretty good time going at the moment. Let's take a little breather. Let's hang out. Let's relax and drink some more tea. Yeah. I'm actually not going to send my base down because I think if we die, we don't have time to beat him anyway. So I'm going to hold off from setting the base down for this moment. Can we beat Quincy in 5 minutes? That is the true question. All right, that's a great start right there. Just getting dismounted from the very first archer. We're just sucking damage up. This is looking so bad. So now we have to get him away from our horse somehow. That probably just, oh my god. Just a classic. We gotta be careful when he puts up his shield, because if that reflects into us, we're pretty much just going to die, I think. The reflected damage would be immense. Okay, so now we got a couple time until he does that again. We were gonna attack there and chose not to. That feels nice.
Rise to the challenge. Show me what you've got. 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 A rousing battle. Show me what you've got. Rise to the challenge.
I'm gonna try to just stand still for this one. Maybe a bad idea. Oof. No. Oh my god. Please.
Show me what you've got.
That would have been a really good time to get on our horse there.
Arousing battle.
Whew.
Show me what you've got. Show me what you've got. Arousing battle.
So actually standing still here I don't think is a good idea.
Show me what you've got. Rise to the challenge. Show me what you've got.
Well, I'd say that about does it, fam.
Go ahead.
That is the end. Let's go. That's basically 30 minutes. I know we didn't get under it. I'm going to take that. That's a win. We are so gankable right now, though, right? We're absolutely gankable if this was the tournament. But that is your 0 to 30 minutes speed run into tier 2 iron. So now we're just going to go right and we're going to set our base down in our favorite little spot up here. And that would be the end. That is incredible. Is it possible to do it in under 30 minutes? Absolutely. We wasted time forgetting to craft our spear. We wasted time with some little builds and some little RNG non-planks, and so I actually think that we could get that time down to probably 27 minutes. So speedrunners unite. Your time is now. I will see you all next time for the next V Rising video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, or criticize, offer suggestions. What an incredible run that was. You know, I almost want to just keep going. What's next, right? We have to go try to Horse Lord Octavian, I think is the next thing. But that is iron, right? So now we would just go get some iron. Maybe go to tier 3 to get iron bars, you know, in the back of the Brighthaven docks. You would get copper and iron from that. I really almost want to do that and just keep the speedrun going for, like, you know, how long does it take to actually get your iron weapons. So, you know, what would we need realistically? We would need a smelter and a smithy, which is just ingots and some blood. I'm positive at this point you go straight to T3 and you just hit barrels and crates until you get iron ingots. And then that's just incredible, but we're not going to do it today. That was an amazing play. And so I'll see you guys next time for the next V Rising video. Also, this is some, you know, just random good RNG here at the end of the video. This is just empty militia camp that has a ton of copper bars and other random resources. Look at this. It's got the Twilight Snapper. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. I'm about to do a 0 to 35 minute boss plus the unlocking the rat form. We could instantly be going back to Quincy right now with that Twilight Snapper and putting down a rat form. That is wild. That was an incredible RNG drop right there at the end of this video. I really want to see if we can, how fast we can get rat form. This is just for the tournament now, just for fun, guys. We've just defeated Quincy, obviously, which is a big win for us. It took me 12 attempts to do that, so I'm confident when you throw in other players. The fear of PvP, the fact that if you get killed at Quincy, right, because we picked up our entire base and inventory, so if you get killed at Quincy in a hardcore setting, you just got zeroed. But this is kind of my favorite base spot when you're kind of doing a speedrunning strat right here, because the cave passage to tier 1 is right here. And then there's another cave passage somewhere over here that lets out from T3. So this area right here actually is really cute. It's got some good stuff. But I'm going to just try to build that really fast. I don't even remember what you'd need to get it realistically. Okay, claim that. I think you have to do a research desk at that point, which we already have everything we need for. Boom, research desk. Okay, looking good. We would need copper. We would need copper and leather. Where do you start with it? Isn't it a vermin nest? Alright, so we would just need to get some fish bones here from chests and whatnot, and then a couple grave dust, which we could easily get, as you noticed in my other video. We could just go up right here to Dunley Monastery, and then we would loot this village. I'm gonna run it actually, guys. I'm gonna run that real fast. We're gonna keep this video alive. That's the speed run. Feel free to leave. But if we can actually get the rat form here, you know, in X amount of time flat, then that would just be totally wild. I also picked up my base. You know, we wouldn't have to do that. Eight grave dust and some fish bones, and we would be ready to go into rat form to gank players for an Iron Man mode, a competitive mode. You see how crazy it would be to consider if you had a lot of very competitive players. So, oh, that's not going to be good. So we already have half of the grave dust that we need. I don't think holy damage can kill you. I might be wrong, but for sure sun damage can kill you. So no, holy damage actually cannot kill you. Alright, so we've already got half the grave dust that we need. Right, we would just go, we'd go to some other random locations, POIs. We'd probably go to the villages and we would get fish bones. What a run. I'm so happy I stopped over at that camp. 30-minute Quincy into Twilight Snapper into what would likely become a 45-minute rat form. So 45 minutes into the tournament, you're getting ready to be into Iron, and you have the rat unlocked. And you can just go sit at Quincy and Ferocious Bear and Clive and start ratting and killing players. It's just unbelievable to me in like every single aspect. We don't have blood, but again, that's something that can't actually kill you. So we can just run around and we can just loot all this stuff and iframe like champions. There's some fish bones, right? I'm dead. But anyway, that's the end. And so we would have, you know, we'd be getting fish bones from these little POIs that don't have a lot of villagers. You know, you'd go to these farms to get fish bones, and then you would hit the cemetery, or you know, maybe you would drop back to T1 once you get your iron, and you would go to the Forgotten Cemetery and kill Nikolaus. So there's just so many strategies to employ from this point forward. But there's your 30-minute speed run for Quincy and a ridiculous Twilight Snapper RNG drop. And I'll see you all next time.